Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. So basically today we're doing something a little bit different. This is actually my first time trying Kratom. So I've just bought 50 capsules of premium Kratom. I believe the strain is called Green Mangda from Go Pure, and they deliver to the UK and Europe. Obviously, it's a bit of a grey area in the UK and Europe. I know that in the US, the majority of states, I believe, actually have it legalized, other than say like a select few. And yeah, over there in the US it seems to be pretty normalized, and I can see why people use it. I literally just have dosed over like an hour ago. At first I took around 4 capsules, so there's about 600 milligrams in each of these vegetable capsules. So I took about 4 just to start off, because I wanted to start off with a threshold dose, see how it was. And yeah, the effects were extremely subtle at first, but as time's going on, and I've just taken another capsule just to redose a tiny bit, and even though it's still a subtle effect, I'm starting to feel almost exactly what they describe it as being, a mixture of a stimulant and an opioid. So what that actually means is that basically, obviously, opioids have sort of a sedating, euphoric, relaxing effect, whereas stimulants obviously increase your energy and your focus, your concentration, and it really does feel like a weird little mixture between those two states right now. I say I'm only an hour in, it might potentiate in a bit. I've actually just drank some ginger kombucha as well, because I've heard that ginger actually accentuates the effects. So I do feel it's very subtle shift in my consciousness. Again, I must reiterate that for me right now it's very subtle, but you can also take a higher dose in it, and that also increases the euphoric, sedating, opioid-like effects. But on lower doses, it's more of like a stimulant, a bit like a nootropic, like modafinil, except without the weird amphetamine effects that come with that. I've not had any uncomfortable feelings or nausea or anything from taking it at all. You might be wondering what Kratom actually is. I probably should have started off by talking about that, but I just wanted to talk about how it's been affecting me just as it's happening right now. So I'll just read a bit of the Psychonaut wiki, because, not gonna lie, this is the go-to place in it for discovering information about psychedelics on a scientific, psychological level, and also the toxicity and harm potential and consumption aspects to using substances. If you've never checked it out, then get on it. But yeah, I'm just going to read a few of these paragraphs for you, because they do a more comprehensive overview of it than I ever could. So Kratom, I'm going to butcher this, sorry if I butcher all these pronunciations. Mitragina speciosa, also known as Kratom, is a tropical tree of the coffee family indigenous to Southeast Asia. The leaves of M. speciosa contain various psychoactive alkaloids that produce mild stimulant and opioid effects. The pharmacology of Kratom is complex, although it produces its major effects through action at opioid receptors in the brain. It is indigenous to Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, Myanmar, and Papua New Guinea. And this certain strain of Kratom that we've got, this Green Mangda, I believe this is cultivated in Indonesia. It has been used in traditional medicines for centuries. Traditionally, fresh or dried Kratom leaves are chewed or made into tea. Starting in the 2000s, Kratom began to receive significant attention due to increased use in Western cultures as an alternative medicine. It is readily available for purchase from a large number of internet vendors, most commonly in the form of dried and powdered leaves. Subjective effects include sedation, stimulation, pain relief, anxiety suppression, muscle relaxation, and euphoria. Like cannabis, users report that the effects of Kratom can vary depending on the dose and strain. Lower doses are generally reported to produce caffeine-like stimulant effects, such as enhanced focus and motivation, while higher doses produce typical opioid effects like pain relief, sedation, and euphoria. Many users claim Kratom is useful in treating opioid addiction as a weaning agent, particularly during the initial withdrawal phases. Kratom exists in a variety of strains with different characteristics, some more opioid-like than others. So yeah, on that site, that Go Pure, where I acquired the Kratom from, there's a few strains. One of the ones, it's sort of some red variant of it, and again, all of them have different increased effects or decreased effects, and some of them have more stimulating or sedating effects. The reason I've been interested in trying it is because my two buddies, Tales from the Trip and Someone That's No One, have been talking about it quite a lot, and it really had me interested. They use it now and then, and they have like quite a few, like 1 or 2 doses a day, which is it seems to do them really good. So that really inspired me to just look it up, and it was so easy to actually order this from Go Pure. I'll put a little image here, and it was around like it was around £20 for all the 50 capsules. I just wanted to start off low first, see if I like it, and if I do, I'll keep taking it more as I see fit. So today, I'm planning to work on the garden, and yeah, I need a bit of energy, and I really don't. I can't drink. Well, I don't mind the odd coffee, but caffeine definitely gives me anxiety. I think I'm very sensitive to stimulants. Like, I'm really sensitive to like cigarettes and sort of the dopamine buzz that it gives you. It makes me feel quite anxious. Like how I talked about in my overcoming cannabis paranoia video, where I believe that the anxious, paranoid effects from cannabis for me are induced when it's mixed with tobacco, because again, it stimulates my brain, and also I just absolutely hate like stimulants such as amphetamines and cocaine and etc. that are just pure, again, like dopamine rushes. It really makes me it just tightens my body up and doesn't make me feel sociable or energized at all. It actually has like an inverse effect, which is pretty weird. So yeah, even as I'm talking right now, I'm feeling, maybe it sounds like I am in the video, but I'm talking much faster than I usually do, and I seem to be a bit more hyper-focused, which is really cool. I definitely feel a bit more motivation to just do things rather than vegetating. Not that I'm really a lazy person at all. I love doing stuff and occupying my time, but this is just that extra inch of motivation that you need, and it's really helping actually. And obviously it's my first time. Obviously I'm going to have to figure out what dose is best for me and my body type. I mean, my height is to be fair, I don't actually know my exact height and weight. I'd say I'm about 5'6", 5'7". I'm like 5'7" on a good day. So obviously a lower dose would probably hit me harder than a taller, larger person. And I'm not skinny, but I'm on the skinnier side. But also to mention that I did have what did I have to eat earlier today? Oh, I had like avocado and sauerkraut on toast, 2 big slices of toast, and then I dosed around an hour and a half after that. So maybe that's also affected the onset of the kratom. But yeah, it's been really interesting so far, and I'm gonna keep updating these videos. Say I'll do another one saying my second opinions of kratom after a next dose in a few days, when I see fit, because I don't think I'm going to be taking it all the time, just when I see fit. And possibly later on tonight I'll take a higher dose to see what the sedating euphoric effects are like, because I've got a slight warm buzzy feeling, a fuzzy, not even buzzy, although there is a buzzy feeling as well. But yeah, I'm not really feeling the proper euphoric sedating opioid effects right now. But yeah, I guess perhaps maybe my body could take on more than I assume, even despite my body weight and height. So yeah, and I'll also experiment with, say, taking it on an empty stomach before eating, just after eating, because if you look online, there's loads of different effects that people talk about and how it all differs for them. Some people saying they have it right after they eat, or before they eat, or 2 hours after they eat, etc. But yeah, just my first impressions overall, I'd say this is a great alternative to traditional opioids such as oxycodone and codeine and etc., which I'd say have worse potential, well, higher potential for abuse, and also it just doesn't feel as good taking these pharmaceutical drugs when you've got stuff that is sort of straight from the earth, like kratom. I know that can sound a bit like neo-advaita sort of hippie type shit, but it is true in a way. It definitely feels a lot purer, and it feels better just knowing that it's not being tampered with by these big pharma corporation boys, and it's cool just to support these businesses that obviously their incentive is to have a more holistic approach to medicine, i.e. that's why it's so popular with alternative medicine circles. So yeah, my first impressions have been a big thumbs up from me. So I'd also recommend you try it if you're struggling with, say, my mate struggles with fibromyalgia, and I'm going to tell him to start getting on this because apparently it's really good for it. This industrial metal band called Three Teeth, he knows I think the lead singer from it, and he told him that Kratom is one of the best pain relieving medicines for sort of autoimmune disorders and joint pain and just generally relaxing your muscles. So I'm definitely going to get him onto this. There's been absolutely no side effects at all from my first dose, but obviously, yeah, we'll see how things go on, and I'll update this next week. Say an update on me trying Kratom, and let us know in the comments if you've ever taken it before, if you've ever even heard of it, any experiences, negative or positive. Yeah, I'd like to see your feedback on this. It's really interesting, and it's another one to check off the bucket list of substances to experiment with. So yeah, nice and safe and happy days for everybody. Right, I'll see you in the next video.